Hi everybody, this is Leo from themechills.com, and today I'm going to show you how you can go about installing and customizing the Patagonia landing page. So to start off, I'll just give you a quick walkthrough of the landing page itself, just so you get more of an understanding as to how it works. As you can see, you have your main navigation here with the corresponding menu items. You can click on those and you'll be taken to the corresponding section. And there's also this extra bonus navigation feature that you can include if you want to or not. So the blog and sponsors are just currently placeholders, but you can actually create those pages and go from there. There is a pricing table that you can get access to, and that's, as you can see, fairly straightforward. You can customize the prices or even the features. It's up to you really. So let's go back to the main page. And I just want to point out that you can also just scroll down with the native browser scrolling, and you will see that on the left hand side it'll correspond to the section that you are hovering over. So currently we're in portfolio, then we're going to go into the trailer, the gallery, the contact us section, and so on and so forth. I'll also point out that you have the lightbox feature in the gallery section, and you can either click on it one by one or you can click on it from within the lightbox modal dialog. It's up to you. Now the theme is responsive, so you'll be able to see the same kind of features across any device that you choose. But let me just quickly show you how you can go about changing the color of the buttons, for example, just to give it your own look and feel. Once you download the landing page, you will have the following folder structures: the Photoshop files, which are found within the PSD directory, the HTML, which contains all of the source code, and also the documentation. So let me just, like I said, quickly show you how you can go about customizing the buttons on the Patagonia landing page. It's fairly straightforward. Now I'm using Sublime Text, but the same will work across any other code editor that you may have. So let me bring that in. And what I would do is I'm just going to drag in my HTML folder, and it'll contain my index.html and my pricing.html. Now like I said, we want to just change the buttons. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my CSS. So one thing I'll point out is that the Patagonia landing page is powered by the Foundation framework by Zurb. So what I would recommend is actually not touching the Foundation CSS files, just because that contains the core selectors for grids and whatnot. I have provided a style.css file, which that's where you'll be able to make your customizations as you see fit. So as I mentioned, we were looking at buttons. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly search for buttons. And I see that here is the color hex code that I have for my buttons at the moment. So that's a magenta color at the moment, but let me just change it to green. And then I'm just going to go back to my browser, and I'm just going to have to bring up my local version because we're looking at the template on my server. So as you can see, it's very straightforward to customize the button colors. Right now, if you wanted to, you could also change the hover states. It's just a matter of really adding the properties that correspond to the hover state and just changing it to whatever color you see fit. So you could do something like, and let me just go here and we'll just put the hover, and we'll just put hover here as well. And then let's change it to background color to be, what can we think of, yellow. That's going to be pretty drastic change, but let's just take a look. As you can see, hover states are now there. Now if you were to revert back to it, let's just undo all those changes we just did now and refresh, and then we're back to the default. Now One thing that you'll notice is that the images are placeholder images. You don't need to be restricted to these specific pixel dimensions. They are just placeholders, so pretty much just put the image that suits your needs, and the template itself will accommodate as needed. The only thing I'd recommend is probably not to make it too large. So for example, try and stay within these dimensions, but you're not restricted to them. Now, one thing I'll also like to point out is the sidebar section. As you can see, it's actually, well, let's go to the demo. You'll see that the background images fade in and fade out. And it's a nice subtle effect. And you can customize the images you want there. As it stands now, like I said, this is just a placeholder image. It doesn't need to be 400 by 1000 or 500 by 1100. It's up to you. I'm just putting this in so you can get an indication as to how the effect works. And the same applies for these images. And also, as you can see, it's all pretty much standard, and you'll be able to add in the images you like. So there you go. Now, where do you go to customize, for example, the images that correspond to the sidebar? Well, it's fairly straightforward. I just go into Sublime, and that is found under the custom.js file. As you can see, I've sectioned it off so it makes it easier to follow. What you'll need to do is you'll need to put in your image path there, and once you do that, it'll pretty much transition between as many images as you'd like to put. I've put in 3 at the moment, but you can put in as many as you like. So, and then there's some other functions in here that you can customize if you needed to, but that's up to you. I'll let you take a look at it further. That's pretty much it, how you go about customizing the theme. You could also, if you wanted to, make some more drastic changes, but that's not something I'll cover in this video. If you're comfortable with CSS and JavaScript, then it's up to you really how you'd like to customize the theme. It's a very minimalist and clean theme, which I think will be great for whatever you need it to be. So text is all customizable, obviously, and logo you'll be able to change as well. Now, to go about installing the theme on your server, it's pretty much just a matter of creating a directory where you'd like it to be included, whether it's on your root or whether it's a specific subdomain or whatever you'd like. Just upload it through FTP and you'll be good to go. Remember, this is not a WordPress theme, so if you try and upload it into the WordPress dashboard, then you'll probably get an error. So remember, this is just a landing page that you'll be able to upload on your server, and you'll be good to go. One last thing actually I want to point out is the contact form. The contact form is left open because different people require different requirements for how they want to submit forms, whether it goes to an email list or what have you. So the form is left open. You can use any kind of programming language you like. The choice is yours pretty much. And the same goes for the embeddable map. It's just a matter of updating the coordinates, and you'll be able to select your specific location. Let me show you where that is actually. So go into your index.html, go into contact, and the map is actually found here. So that's the container, but if you wanted to update the location, then what you'll do is you'll actually go into custom.js, and as I mentioned, it's all sectioned off so it's easy to follow. Just find your longitude and latitude coordinates, and that'll automatically update the Google map. So very, very easy to implement. So that's all I have for you guys. If you do have any questions, feel free to contact me. Otherwise, I will also recommend, if you want a free landing page, I actually have one on my blog at themechills.com. So what you can do is just go there, and there's a subscribe module that you'll just need to put in your name and email address. I don't spam anyone, so if anything, I might send you tips from time to time, or when there's a new theme coming out. So if you'd like a free landing page, feel free to check that out. So thanks for listening. If you have any questions, like I said, let me know. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Thanks.